What's your plan? What is your plan? I am popping on here live today. Hello, Laura Wick here. And I want to talk about, obviously, what is your plan? And I want to share a story because I love sharing stories. So here's what I'm referring to when I ask this question. As holistic practitioners, and I think this was my experience as a massage therapist, was, we're taught to trade time for money as our income. And underneath all of this, and if you joined me for boot camp, I know we kind of dove deep into all of this. Underneath all of this is this, I think there's this belief that as long as we have a desire to help people and we have our modalities, we're golden, right? And that's the plan. However, my team and I have talked to hundreds, potentially even thousands of y'all who have reached the point in your careers, or maybe you've had a moment where life had other plans and you weren't able to physically work, right? I've heard stories of people who had broken their arms, their pinky, and couldn't work. I've heard stories of people who had children and couldn't work. I've heard stories of people who had unexpected moves or family situations show up and weren't able to work. And I think we all collectively as an industry had an experience where the way that we are used to working physically in person, working with our clients, was gone. What's your plan? I want to share a story for you of like when this happened to me and the wake-up call that I had. And then I want to talk about what I have seen as really what is needed to think about like having the plan of like, what happens if I can't work the way that I'm used to working? And also, what's the plan for when you're ready to move on from one-on-one in-person physical work, right? I want to talk about some fundamentals that are so important to that. And I want to share with it where this happened for me. So really, this honestly starts way back when my very first day at my dream job, I was hired to work at this beautiful spa in downtown Charleston, South Carolina. It was like the dream job, right? And I was so excited to be there. They had like the beautiful, I forget what they called it, like the meditation room. And it was, like the waterfalls and the drinks with the mint and the strawberries in it. Like it was gorgeous. And I was so excited to start working there. And day one, I went in and I was waiting in the break room for the manager to come and start my training. And as I was sitting there, a couple of the veteran therapists walked out. They had just come out of their sessions. And I remember I was like, oh, like they're so cool, right? Like, they were book solid, all these things. And they walked out and they were talking to each other and they were like, oh man, my shoulders are killing me. Like I had 8 clients on my calendar yesterday. I'm like freaking exhausted. And oh man, here comes Johnny again. And I'm just going to shove my elbow into Johnny's back because I don't have the patience to deal with him saying, you can press harder. And I was like, oh, snap, right? I had this wake-up call on day one that in order for me to have a healthy, successful career, I was going to have to play my cards right. Granted, I went on to, within the year, to be one of the most fully booked therapists, and I was exhausted. And so then I did what we're told, right? And I started my own practice. And yes, I was able to cut back, but I was still trading time for money. And again, I booked myself solid and got to that point where now it was impacting my husband. It was impacting our relationship. It was like I would, still see all these clients during the day. And now I was giving them extra time, talking to them, not charging for it. And I just remember crashing at the end of the day. I didn't have the energy to take care of myself. I didn't have the energy to practice all the things that I preached. I didn't have the energy to connect with my husband. I was like donezo. And my wake-up call came when my husband and I, after a couple years of trying to have children, ended up in a fertility clinic, where the doctor, who I like to call Dr. McAsshole, because, this was the time when Grey's Anatomy was like really big, but, they had Dr. McDreamy and Dr. McSteamy, and this was Dr. McAsshole, because he sat us down and with no empathy or compassion said, your chances of conceiving naturally are less than 4%. In order to have children, you're looking at the most expensive form of IVF. And by the way, Laura, right? This is like an intense process for you. You might want to cut back on your work. So we were sitting there in this office, and what I heard was, you need to work less. And by the way, pay me $15,000 flat fee in upfront, no guarantee if it worked, right? Plus meds and all the insanity. If anybody has ever gone through any fertility stuff, my heart is with you. And I just sat there and I was like, oh snap, right? Like my old way of thinking was that if I needed to make more money, I should just do more. I should just see more clients, cram my schedule full. And that option, the default option that I think so many of us turn to when we have a flat tire, when something comes up, when we want to go on vacation, we do the thing where we like cram the schedules before, cram the schedules after, and then hit the vacation or hit the time off and just like have no energy left to do anything. I sat there and I was like, the default method of just go work more was taken off the table, and I was forced to look at a different way to show up and do my work. And that was the moment where I made the choice. Now, I had been, and I shared in boot camp, I had been investing in my coaching. I'd actually done quite a bit of business trainings. I had seen my friends. I had done already 2 coaching programs at this point. At this point, still wasn't charging for it. But I had seen my coaching friends structuring things differently, right? And that was my wake-up call that I had to change things. I had to change how I worked. I had to change how I showed up. I had to have a plan, because the truth was, even if we were able to get pregnant when we wanted to, that meant that I would have had to work even more and not be able to be the mom that I want to be. And Porky is snoring if you can hear her in the background. She's one of my fur babies. Do you guys hear that? So this is why, for me, for anybody who's listening, if you're a holistic practitioner, if you know you want to work smarter, not harder, if you're ready to stop trading time for money, if you know that there's a better way to work and you're trying to figure out what the plan is, I'm going to tell you what you need. And remember, right? Like this is what I've found helpful for me. This is what we teach in BodyMind Coaching. But the 3 things that I have found to be helpful is 1, knowing how to support people in transformation. I talked about this during boot camp. This is why I believe in a coaching structure. A coaching structure, a coaching framework is not about one-to-one single sessions or packages that fix people, right? It's about holding the space, that container of support, for people to own their goals, own what they want in their life, right? Get clear on that, to hold the space and have the support for them to take action and do it. And that coaching framework within the session, within the container, That is about supporting people in transformation. My business changed when I stopped being a massage therapist who happened to do this coaching thing over here to a coach who used my background as a massage therapist to bring embodiment into the process, right? When you have the skills and the structure to support people in transformation, that means that you're always able to have clients and help them, right? And the other thing is that the coaching structure, yes, we teach you how to do this within your current modalities and practices, and also the coaching structure can be done virtually. The coaching structure can be delivered in group programs, retreats, online courses, right? So when you understand how to support people in transformation, that gives you, right, the ability to always help people in a way that doesn't have to be directly one-on-one or in person. So that's number one. Number two, having the skills to create and sell coaching containers is a basic business skill that I think everybody needs. And I'm talking to you coaches out there too, because we talk to a lot of coaches who don't know how to do that. And I'm lovingly going to just wink, wink, nod, nod. Sales is love, right? A mentor of mine, Laura Wright, she always said sales is love. Sales is love. And I think we have a lot of healing to do around our own money mindset. We have a lot of healing to do around receiving for our natural gifts. But the thing is, I know you want to help people, like you have that desire, you have your modalities. Modalities are one piece of that container of support. It's about how do you support people in taking action and doing the thing and holding them accountable, right? That's the coaching container, coaching process, those skills. And then once you understand that, knowing how to invite and sell that process, that is a skill, right? I always tell myself, I know how to help people and get results, and I know how to sell. I will always have an income. I will always have a job because I have those fundamentals, right? The last piece of this is your own personal growth, right? We coach you in BodyMind Coaching because, just like I said a second ago, truly the blocks that most people have, it's less about how to do things and it's more about your willingness to receive for who you are. It's more about your ability to let it be easy, right? We talked about this, there's twofold in this. We talked about in boot camp, we have been wired, like literally neurophysically wired, that when we do, we earn. When we do, we are worthy, right? When we do, that's how we contribute. And what happens is when you learn how to support people in transformation in a way that doesn't require all your doing and all your physical effort, and you're able to create and sell those coaching structures to support them in that transformation, if you don't do your own personal work around creating a new neural pathway around getting to be and receiving for who you are and allowing that to be the gift and allowing that to be the way that you give more to the world, right? What's going to happen if you don't do your inner work, you're going to stay in the loop of constantly doing more to prove that you're good enough to earn what you're earning. And I believe that there's a deep healing that gets to happen when we take ownership of our businesses. All too often, holistic practitioners love what they do and love helping people. And then your business and making money feels separate from that. I'm here to tell you that it is all part of the process, right? And the other thing is I shared during boot camp that mountain, right? That you will always have clients so long as you're able to extend the hand to the person who's a step behind you and invite them to take the step up the mountain, right? We're climbing that mountain together. Well, your personal growth is essential because you can only support people as far as you're willing to climb in your own personal growth. So as you are doing your own inner work and as you are making those shifts and creating those new neural pathways, right, it supports others around you because that is also how you get to lift people up, right? And again, we talked about doing the inner work so that you can shift the outer systems and shifting the outer systems so that you can deepen your inner work. the two go hand in hand. So, enrollment for the next round of BodyMind coaching is open, and we start soon, which means that this next round, right, is time. If you've been hanging out here for a while, if you've been watching all my videos, if you've been stalking me, hi, I see you, you're amazing. If you're sitting here trying to figure out how this is supposed to work, what this is supposed to look like for you, how you're supposed to fit it all together, I want to invite you to get on a call with my team. These calls are about helping you get clarity, about helping you sift through all the fears, all the questions, all the emotions, all the energy to come back to a place in yourself where you get to make an empowered choice. And that choice is, who do you want to be and what are you ready to claim? And if at that point it feels like we can help you, we'll go over all the details. Again, we coach you, we teach you how to coach, we teach you how to create and sell your coaching programs, because that is the plan. That's the plan that allows you to take your amazing modalities and leverage them out of your in-person one-on-one sessions, to take them off the table or off the mat and into a whole new level. Look, it's time, especially if you watch this whole damn video, it's a long video, it's time. You're here because you know that it's time for a better way to work, and it's time to have the skills to not just be able to help somebody right now, but to be able to have a healthy, thriving career that is rooted in impact and rooted and allowing you to have the income that you know you're here to receive. So go schedule your call, thenewbodymind.com/apply. We're really nice. We actually had somebody, I got a message from my team member who said that she had this beautiful call. And again, this person was able to kind of sift through all these things that have been swirling there. Come on, I know that you're busy seeing clients doing all the things, right? And sometimes it's hard to get out of your own way and have that clarity. We want to give you the space to have the clarity. So we want to hold that space. In this call, this person had an amazing conversation. She was able to come to a place where she claimed her vision, claimed what she knew she was here to create in this world. My team member went over all the details of BodyMind coaching, and it was an empowered no. She said, I'm ready to claim myself. I'm ready to claim all these things. And I don't know if that's the path for me. And she made that choice. And at the end of the call, she turned to my team member and she's like, thank you. She felt so seen and witnessed and heard in that conversation. Not because we're trying to push you off a cliff, but because we're simply here to hold that space for you. And yeah. So I'm sharing this because I have a sense, again, if you're watching it this far, you've probably been leaning in and I know you might have some fears around having that call and doing that. And I just want to let you know, we're here to help you make a choice. And that choice is about you. Right? And if we can support you and if we can help you, we'll go over all the details and answer your questions. So thank you for joining me. And again, what's your plan?